Okay, welcome to the second game of today. We have Flatball Z against Predator in red. So Flatball Z in blue, starting on offense. To your right of screen, we have Shantanu Malhotra with the pull. Mackenzie catches a disc, sends it to Sanderson. Sanderson to Davey. Nice undercut. Looks at Foley for the dump. Working quite simple at the moment, but still in the middle. Oh, and Joe, that is Joe Petrie with a lovely snag D on the break attempt. Dumps to Sid. Back to Joe. Break pass to Lachlan Eichner. Pots it up in the air, the jump ball, and Malhotra, the experience. Oh no, not in. Malhotra back to Lachlan Eichner for the goal.
Great score there by Lockie.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Welcome to Connor Fletcher, joined us in the commentary booth.
Thank you, Johnny. Nice to be here.
Yeah. Lovely conditions after a few weeks of hot weather.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been enjoying the nice cool weather. The chance to wear some pants again after 3 months. It's been nice.
So who's your prediction for this game?
Oh look, I reckon Red, honestly, they've been on fire the last couple of weeks. Taking some really strong wins. Their throwing has really improved over the last couple of weeks, and they're taking the easy options now instead of looking to force those harder throws.
Yeah, they definitely, once they got the D there, they definitely looked calm and composed, looked to break early and often. Made a very easy pass in the goal.
Yeah, it's definitely not saying that Blue doesn't have a chance in this game, though. They've also got like a really good, solid set of handlers and receivers. Definitely a really strong team. Not a single person on that line that you can say is a liability. We've got Shanson with the pull here.
So
After you.
We started with a break. Looks like Red are on the front foot.
Yeah, let's go. Shanson with the pull, going up. Great pull. Right in the back of the end zone here. Sander picking up. Looking for that throw. Inside. Unfortunately, no one there. Looks like it's going to be a turnover. We got Joseph coming to pick up the disc here now. Looks a bit injured. Hobbling over to the disc. On the sideline here. Not much movement from the stack. Looking to Sean Davis. And inside to Ted. Great. Right in the middle of the field now. Front of the end zone. Looks to his dump. Easy dump to Sean. And a great score by Sid there. Nice and easy movement. As you were saying earlier there, Johnny. Nice, calm and cool and collected.
So Blue, Flatball have a tendency to want to move through three primary movers. So they set up generally in a vertical stack with two handlers, and they look to really triangulate that first front of stack movement. They like their first kind of pass option to really be a break, an inside break to them. Looks like Predator have actually really cottoned onto that maybe early. They've really put some pressure on that. So the two turns have both come from that inside look. One a lovely D by Petrie, and this second one just a throwaway as pressure built. So
yeah, definitely. I think in these conditions as well, they're going to find that inside look to be a lot harder than it is, or has been the last couple of weeks. Predator with another pull from Chancey Malhotra. They've been working on their running down really hard on the pull. You'll always hear Sean as they run down, telling them to run harder, run faster, get down there, make sure that they stop that first throw.
Yeah, I noticed that last time. Luke and Lachlan Eichner were down. Oh, and Ted, sorry. Luke and Ted were both basically on the disc as it was brought in.
All down very fast.
Puts a lot of pressure on. All right, Sanderson to Foley to Brill. Launches a big one up to Rob. Lockie's going to get there with some pace. Oh, lovely
That's a great D by Lockie. Fantastic D.
Just took it out. Rob, I think, didn't think Lockie had the pace to get there. I think he thought he could just milk that.
Yeah, definitely.
Lockie put the afterburners on when he saw where it was going.
Got to attack this disc, boys. Got to watch it. Come on, Flatball.
Be interesting to see here if Ted looks to work Sanderson over at the back of the stack here.
Yeah, Ted's definitely got the speed on him. Oh, yep, look, there he goes. But a great throw.
Pick was
Sean.
called by the person who caught.
Lockie almost dropping it.
An interesting look by Sean Davis.
Held its edge really nicely into that space, though.
Very flat, though, over the top of a stack. Without the pick call, I think Rob might have even just been able to D it anyway by turning. Oh,
All that inside into the ground. And a great D by Sean.
lovely.
Great layout D.
Lovely layout D by Sean.
Got to get it moving off this sideline. Oh, nice pick up. Of the
Sid
scraps.
with the scraps. Sid looking to move it. Needs to look at his dump. Ted off gives him an option. Ted to Joe. Joe recognises the poach by Rob there. Smart decision to swing it back to Lachlan. Oh, and just some miscommunication there by Sid and Lachlan. Wilson to Foley. Back to Wilson. Oh, big hammer up in the air. Enough space for Rob to just calmly sit and eat it all up.
Yeah, that hammer look's definitely been very popular out here at Super League. People like to just throw that nice big loopy throw over. Defense generally not expecting it as well. And that's the first point for Flatball Z there.
So are they Flatball Z or are they Flatball Z? Are they taking their influence from America?
I'm a bit of a Z myself, but you know, why don't we ask John Brill? John Brill, are you Flatball Z or Flatball Z? Z, there you go.
So American influence. I'm not a fan. I'm going to call them Flatball Z.
All right. I'm going to call them Flatball Z. We'll see who breaks first.
So this will be our first look at Predators offense, right?
First look, yeah. No Baddocks out this week. Must be away, but
plenty of experience there. Plenty of experience to take charge and lead the way. Sean's played and led on a number of teams.
oh, definitely. Sean, Joseph, Lockie, Ted, Shantanu, all very strong players. Played a lot of seasons together. Pulls up, Shantanu receives. Joseph pitcher with the disc. Looks like they're setting up in a zone here. Sid dropping back into that handler space. On the sideline, but Joseph got it back. Just working it through this cup here. Small movement. Good crashing from the back. Got to move it around. Back and around. Nice. Perfect. Straight across to Shantanu. Shantanu back to Sean. Sean working hard here in that handler space. Great hammer across the field there to Lockie. And then nice flat floating throw to Luke Mai for the score. Didn't look troubled there with that zone offense. I guess because it was downwind, but
No, they had him. I think they had him on the line. Foley kind of got sucked into coming up on the handler guard, thinking that he might have a play if they try an overhead across to the handler. Fortunately, by doing that, just left the wing by himself completely open. It's always a challenging spot to play that wing. You don't know if you need to be aggressive and up on the handlers. Do you need to be aggressive into the middle? Often you get stuck in no man's land. So I don't really mind Foley making a decision there.
yeah. Especially in this wind as well, that throw's always going to be hard back across the field. Predator playing Savage tonight as well, similar to your team.
So who are they missing? They're missing Baddocks.
Baddocks, Ricky, and I'm not sure who the last player is. New player, first year, plays at West Adelaide Ultimate.
Oh, Ryan.
Ryan, that's the
And
one.
they're missing one more. They should be.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
We'll work on that and we'll get back to you.
Shannon with another good pull. He's been working on those pulls over the last couple of months. They've been turning out to be pretty good.
Zed, however, are missing one as well by the looks of it.
Nice pull up by Shantanu. Sanderson with the pick up. Sanderson scanning the field. Foley with a little pick up off the ground there. Scanning the field again, looking for Wilson. It's going to under to Tim Stevens. Another under to Sam Davey. Great up line cut there by Foley. Getting it off the sideline now, around to Sanderson.
Hey, swing it, boys, if you can, swing it.
Strong mark here by Ted. Foley does what he needs to get up the line there.
Yeah,
He finds Wilson in the end zone. Great throw, great shape.
Great point, Paul.
Lovely throwing by Flatball Z, but really, actually some great pressure by Predator. They really made him kind of cram it up that sideline. Really let him get off the sideline too much. If they can stop that down the line pass, if they can just stop that one. That's the one that they got out on a number of times. Stop that, and all of a sudden you've got quite a tight lockdown defense.
From what I've played against Flatball Z, the last couple times that we played them at least, they've actually not had much trouble shooting out up that line over and over again. They're quite consistent in throwing those throws. And when they need to, they'll find the break around. But yeah, no Scott Swart out tonight, actually, I just realised.
That's who it is that's missing. From
No Scott Swart, no power flick thrower.
So 3-2, but 2 breaks to Predator. So the game is getting away from Z here. They need to get a break in.
Very close there.
Petrie.
If I didn't have Sanderson in the way, I'd be able to see perfectly.
Petrie hit Sean. Sean throws the long one to Luke. Big contest. Oh, Luke with a lovely catch and a goal.
Great throw by Sean as well. Especially with these downwinds. Got to weight them real nicely. Something your team was doing very well last game. Johnny holding them for that extra second. Waiting for them, calibrating that shot.
Yeah, it's an interesting wind. It's quite nice to throw into with not much spin. Just let the disc do. Let the wind do most of the work. If you put too much pressure into it, it's just going to send it sailing 20 metres out the back of the end zone.
Looks like we have a timeout here called by... Timeout by you guys? Fall? Your timeout?
They called timeout.
Oh, they called timeout.
Okay, welcome back after a quick timeout. Connor, you were paying attention to Flatball Z's timeout. What was the key message or the key takeaway?
Yep, so I was listening to Flatball Z's timeout. Wilson just marshalling the troops, telling everyone that Predator's out to play hard, intense ultimate, and they just need to play a bit faster, a bit smarter, a bit harder, you know. Just need to start playing a bit more intensely, I think, is the message he was trying to get across there. Predator with the pull here. Great pull by Shantanu, floating up.
Once again, we've got 2 guys on their 2 handlers as it lands. Sanderson with the disc, high stall count. Swings to Mackenzie. Mackenzie swings to Rob. Rob hits Foley. Big open under to Foley. Big open under to Brill. Oh no, to Rob. Steals it. Rob to Scary. Manages to pull it off his bootstraps. Looks at John Brill. Scary shoots a fat side across. Lachlan eats it up easily.
Once again, their Predator doing a really good job of keeping them on that sideline.
Makes that last hard shot quite hard. Eichner dumps to Davis. Davis swings to Luke. Joe isn't managed to keep his hands on it. Sanderson picks it up. Easy to Foley, easy to Wilson for the goal.
Nice quick play there. Both teams finding some issues trying to throw it up to this side of the field, I reckon. Just need to take that extra second, find their footing, and really put a nice amount of spin on the disc, especially in that upwind cross field.
It's a deceiving wind. I know in our game there was a couple of throws from both teams. It just kind of popped. So they just went just over the top of their intended target. Only a 5 metre throw, 5 to 10 metre throw. Not much spin put on it because it is such a short throw. And the wind takes it, pops it up.
Definitely.
There we go. Flatball have another chance for a break here.
One more break and they'll be right back in it, but it's got to be an upwind.
We're still 3-4. We're still just one break up, or 2 breaks up, I think, to Predator. I think Flatball have definitely worked themselves into it, though. The first 2 points, they were flat. 2 very easy turnovers close to their defensive end zone. Allowed Predator to get those 2 quick, easy breaks. I feel the game is much tighter now.
Definitely looking a bit more comfortable. Foley with the pull. Shantanu and Joseph behind the disc again. Sean Davis putting himself upfield. Was a bit of a cutter. Sean pulls a poach for Lockie. Big under. Lockie to Sean. Sean on the sideline. Looks for Lockie. Waits it well. Just outside of the end zone here. Take it nice and slow. And slam that corner for the goal. That's what we like to see. Jam it in the cramp hole, as we like to say. Both teams really working it down that far sideline, honestly.
Yeah, just a little bit scared of coming over this side. I guess it is the weaker side. It's hard to, once you get trapped on that line, it's quite hard to swing it back across into this wind.
Definitely.
And I think the team that can manage to do that will maybe take this game away. I know we often talked the Australian beach men's team, Reef Sharks. We talked about if we're going into the wind, we wanted to have the idea of tacking that we took from sailing. So really kind of making sure we go laterally to get to the strong side and then diagonally forward. And then back laterally again, diagonally forward, laterally, diagonally forward. So tacking our way across the field. Once we started doing that, it was a lot easier to move the disc.
Definitely.
Than trying to just go with a big 20-metre gainer straight. Take the 10 to 15-metre gainer, but diagonally across. It's an easier throw, easier cut to make. It's quite easy to adapt to a grass field as well. So maybe they need to have a look at that. Wilson and Foley both played on that team. Maybe they can adapt their game style to that.
Chance with another hanging pull.
He's been definitely working on his pulls. That one's going to brick, I think. Just needed to throw it from the middle of the end zone. No. Would have been perfect. Foley slowly walks it to the line, sit on the mark. Look for an early break here to John Brill. Oh no, open the space for the break to Wilson, but it was covered. Rob Whiten, quick pass to Sando. That's a goaltimate throw.
Pick in the snack.
Sando with the disc here. Rob will clear out. He won't want to be in that dump space. I'll let Foley or Wilson come up. My bet would be Foley. Sid's got to work really hard here to not let Foley just get down that line. That's fine. Foley swings it across to Rob. There it is. There's that diagonal shot to Tim Stevens. To Foley. Worked laterally. They haven't really got anywhere yet. Oh, Rob snakes it away from the red defenders. John Brill. Oh, just didn't pay enough attention to the wind there. Bobbled on him.
Predator with a great chance to capitalise here, taking up wind break.
John Brill sitting in that open space, giving Petrie a bit of latitude. Sean Davis to Luke, quick dump to Sean. Sean to Ted. Oh, the wind picks up. Ted got this throw. Down the line to Joe is open. Swing to Sid, excellent pass. Back to Sean. Sean with a hammer. Straight into the teeth of the wind, that's a hard one.
Yes, from experience last game, I found that crosswind hammer to be very difficult, especially upwind. It's either going to float or it's just going to get caught and die. Tim Stevens with a big underpoach here.
Tim now very open deep. Rob sees it, puts the flick out in front of him. Tim, I don't know if Tim misread that then or got caught in the lights.
Legs were operating differently to his head. They just kept running.
I think he might have been worried that Lockie was going to sneak in and get the D, so he felt he had to attack, but he didn't need to attack and got caught in that two-mine situation.
Sean with a great position here.
Yeah, Rob just giving him the easy open. Oh, Nunu punts it to Sid. Lovely sit on that.
Great throw.
Oh, Sid doesn't manage to pull it down. That's the throw into the wind, though. Get a power position and then a 30 metre. Doesn't have to be end zone to end zone. Wilson puts it to John. Miscommunication there.
John just had that little half stutter step under that just killed all his momentum going deep.
What are we going to see here from Predator, do you think, Connor? He's going to continue to grind?
Yeah, I reckon they're just going to continue to grind, look to find that power position. You got Sean, obviously. You're always going to have a free dump option, so they've got a lot of time to sit on it. Lucky float there. Shanton throwing out the big flick. Another great throw.
It's a good read by Ted. Kind of coming over the top of his head. Sando had a good read too. Got enough pressure there to just make it hard. And a timeout is called by Sando. We'll be back in a moment.
So we're back. Blue coming in with the disc here.
Different look. They've set up a horizontal. Something we haven't seen from him yet this game. Rob and John as a primary pair in front of the disc.
Sean poaching up right into that lane there.
Double swing, Foley to Davey. Back to Foley. Puts it up in the air to Rob.
Floating though.
Rob, great take to John. John throws it to Sam for a goal. Rob saved Foley's bacon there, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting look of a shot.
Rob harping on about trusting your receivers. Eyes red, I don't think you'd be disappointed with that one. An interesting 50-50 look with some good defense, and next time they'll definitely be coming down with that disc.
Yeah, not at all. It's a shot you want to force. I had two boys near it. So it'll be interesting to see if Predator continue the look they've been throwing. They've been mostly doing a vertical stack with the primary cutter coming from the back, so coming from 5. So you notice that they flare off of 5, and then 4 goes after that, and they're looking at 1 or 2 as a flow off of 5. So 5 cuts under, and then looks to hit 1 or 2 going deep. Very classic Australian vert stack, probably straight from Dan Rule's playbook. And Sean's been at a couple of camps with.
Definitely. Sean's really been working that into our outbreak line as well.
Okay.
Pushing hard from the back of the stack. And
That's coming back in, baby. No, it's out.
a brick by Ben Foley there.
Had the very ends of an S bend on it. Again, just need to throw it from the centre of the end zone.
Yep.
So we got Lockie Eichner. No, we got Sean. No, Lockie at the back of the stack. So we'll see if he's the one who makes this primary cut. Blue have set up in a poachy look here. He was the first to go.
Joseph with a great around.
Ted, big shot, big fingers on it by Wilson. D by Wilson.
Signaling that he got a touch there.
Yeah, definitely got a piece of it. So that's quite interesting. Flatball have thrown a sort of clammy look at them, and they've got the turn that they needed. Are they able to get that first break back they need?
Flatball setting up in that triangulating movement, looking for that inside.
Up.
Floated up again.
Tim Stevens, big boy, catches it in the end zone. In the middle of the pack.
Foley reeling it in there. Foley out to Aiden Mitchell on the open side. Lefty inside there. Across to Jay. Great layout bid there by Sean, but Wilson got it in his hands. Foley left in no man's land without a dump. But great inside to John Brill. A little too free though. Pick called in the stack. Flatball going to have to work hard here to find an open player. Floating up, John Brill.
Oh, I feel for Lockie. Happened to be twice in the last game.
Lockie with a big block on the disc, but unfortunately didn't keep his fingers around it and macked it straight into Ben Foley.
Not to take it away from him though, it was a very good heads up D. Came peeled off his player to make it.
Definitely some really good defense there by Predator. Forced a lot of floaty options, but Flatball just coming down with those discs. John Brill especially. For his height, undoubtedly one of the best boxers and receivers for his height in South Australia.
Big frame and a good jump in terms of vertical.
Very good read.
Yeah, makes it hard to get around. So are Flatball going to go with this clammy look again? So it looked like they matched up the handlers, and I think they were sitting 3 on the open side and 2 on the break. It wasn't a classic clam, it just looked like they were just sitting in the lanes, but they were definitely looking to generate some poachy and switchy defense, and it worked for him the first time. Let's see if Sean's paid enough attention. He had a good look at it. He was the back of the stack, so he had a good look at what it looked like. Foley with a big bladey pull. Shantanu catches it. Good. Lets him get them into flow early. Sean with a disc.
Set up in a hos.
Good way to break that. It's hard to set yourself up in that poachy look. Big in the stack. Rob taken through the stack by Lockie. And the wind's picking up again.
It's getting real windy now out here. Doesn't affect Sean Davis though. Great breakthrough.
Oh, Sid with a nice mac to Sean. Puts it up in here to Luke. Rob's coming over for it. Oh. Joe macks it on to Lockie. Hits Ted for the goal. Nice toe over the line.
Both teams just on scraps duties tonight. Finding the pickups off the max. Both teams doing a great job to work it up, winning those last 2 points. Lucky, but good job.
Yeah.
All the same.
Both making use of the luck they're given by defenders macking it onto them. Score here says 5-4.
5-4 seems pretty accurate to me.
Yeah. Wondering if it's 6-5 or 5-4, but 5-4. So Predator with 1 break.
Oh.
6-5.
There you go.
Yep.
Ah, right. We've got a novice behind the camera now. In Sam Tonkin. To be honest, if Rex had put me back there, I'd have no idea what I was doing.
It's all right. We've got it back on the scoreboard now. So Nunu, have we seen a downwind pull from Nunu yet? We've seen a lot of very good upwind ones.
Don't think we have seen a downwind pull from Nunes. See what he pulls out. I reckon it's going to be the classic outside in backhand.
No, he's gone the inside out.
It's going to dive hard,
Yeah.
but not particularly hard to receive.
No, I think with this wind, you just want to, yeah, the big outside in is the way to go.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of a fan of the outside in, personally, from the downwind.
From this, yeah, from the same spot he threw it.
Yeah.
Pick call here. I don't really know if it's hard to make a pick call. Maybe you just got caught up in the stack.
Looks like it's still going to be on volley anyway.
Down the line to Foley. Foley launches the flick. Wilson goes over the both of them.
Sean Davis not laying out for the 3 points like he did last week.
Come on, open.
Swings it to Joseph. Joseph with a big break. Huck. That is a lovely put. Oh, Nunu.
Just needs to get off his feet.
Just stick the mid out. It's a very lovely break. 40-metre pass, though.
Especially in this downwind as well. I thought it was just going to sail, but it sit up nicely right into prime opportunity for Shanson to get that.
Okay. Sanderson. Many years of experience. Thinks I've seen this wind before. It's Jay, gets it back. He'll be happy to do that all day. Foley. Lockie comes through with a final one and an injury call. Rob, big collision with Nunu.
Shanson just not expecting it, I don't think.
Looks like, oh, just caught the knee. Just wasn't, yeah. Went over Nunu's head. He turned to look. Rob was going at it. Maybe Rob shouldn't have jumped with his knee, but it's a hard one to do. Doesn't matter anyway. It was a block by Lockie Eichner in the end.
Bit of laughter on the field. Seemed like they're all okay with it.
Yeah, they're fine. Wrong person. Tuck that in. Should be the closest defender. Rubenberg turning over in his grave right now.
I wouldn't have known that rule personally. I thought it was the person who gets the D.
No, closest. Dead disc, always closest defender.
Red getting off this sideline with a classic movement there.
Sid with a nice little pickup of his feet.
All of them getting off their feet here to get that disc. Sean Davis with a cheeky little downwind scuba to get the score there on the break side. He is a big fan of that throw. Blue all heading to the sideline. Was that a timeout call?
Yeah, timeout call by Flatball. Predator just got the break back, so they're still 2 up. We'll give it a break ourselves here for a moment. Okay, we are back. Predator with a very timely break back to give themselves a double break lead.
5-7.
Yeah, 1 more point to half and the valuable double break opportunity.
So, Predator are going to be coming out in the zone here. First zone look I think they're going to be throwing. 3-3-1.
Okay, just a...
It's a zone you look, boys. It's a zone.
Tim DeSando.
You're popping well.
Let's try and get it trapped, I reckon.
John. Scary swings it to Foley. Foley needs to just take his time here. Wilson even more so. Strong side. See what eventuates. Swings it back to Foley. Across to Scary. Hammer across to Sando. Straight back to Foley. To John. Foley.
Hey, look to Tim. Look to Tim. Hey, Timmy, stay there, mate.
Scary McKenzie with the disc. Sando. Foley. Look for the Scooby over the top. Oh, sends it through to Scary. Sends it right on Wilson's chest. Nice and easy. Not difficult at all.
They did a really good job of being patient around the back early, waiting for Red to get a bit tired, and then started punching on through with those hard driving cuts.
It's a hard one to hold all the way to the end zone of 3-man cup. Lots of holes.
One thing that our team definitely tried developing over the season was a bit of a danger zone. Opening up that inside lane, trying to force the far throw, and then having a wing come in and pinch up on that far throw, look for a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely an alternative way of playing that, rather than trying to force a mistake out of them, I guess. But Red, I don't think they'd be too unhappy with that. Still 2 more opportunities to take this half here with the downwind as well. Should see them take the half right here, right now.
Okay, big pull. Nice and floaty. Gives them a chance to get in and down on it. Comes back. Nunu's disc. Centers it to Joe. To Lockie. To Luke. Back to Lockie. Hit Sean with a nice round break to Joe. Sean. To Lockie. To Joe.
Shanton with a big call for the fat side throw.
Sean puts it over the top, cheeky. Punishes the poach off in the lane.
Not sure what the call is here. Picking the stack, but I still think Scary was just poaching off in the lane. They're not really aware of where Joseph was going, honestly.
Yeah, I'm wondering who... Is it a non-goal?
They're saying he caught it
On the line?
before he jumped, I reckon.
Here we go. Here's a replay for us. So definitely not a pick. Maybe he caught it before it lumped. Often when you slow these right down, it often ends up being that they catch it before they jump.
Yeah.
They've solved peace in the Middle East, though, in the time that they've taken to make this call.
So it looks like they're calling it out.
Yep. Joe with a lot of time with the disc here, though. Should be able to just easily put it in. Probably to
mark as
Nunu.
well.
Nunu's just got to put one solid move here.
Goes for the lefty. Interesting throw.
The very, very made that more difficult than it needed to be.
Nonchalant. Just there you go, Nunu. No problem.
And we have half at 8-6 with Predator coming out on O. We'll be back when this game recommences. Welcome back to the second half of this game. Predator up 8-6 over Flatball. More importantly, with a chance to add another break here, starting on O. What do Flatball have to do to turn it around here, Connor?
Oh, I reckon they just need to start attacking the or the opposite side of the field a bit more. I reckon they've been getting a bit trapped up on the sidelines, looking to just jam throws over and over down that sideline. If they can just figure out how to get it off that sideline there, I reckon they're going to find a lot more success.
Yeah. Had a couple of passes. Nunu to Joe, to Lockie, to Sean.
And there
Sean
it is.
back to Joe, back to Lockie. So hits Nunu. Swings to Joe, to Sean. Rob sagging a lot off, giving Sean a lot of room to throw what he wants. Ted throws it up to Sean. Rob's there. Sean with a lovely box out. Rob just got sucked in there, I think.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a bit of a call, honestly, but it was just Rob congratulating Sean on a really good box.
Sean used his body very well, but Rob got too close.
Yeah, I reckon if he just stayed a bit off, given himself room to jump, he would have easily had that deal.
Yeah. Well, often the case when you feel like you have a height advantage, you want to get in close and use it. Well, that wasn't too difficult for Predator. They worked that one in.
No, I think Flatball really need to play a bit closer on those marks there, especially on that dump mark. They just gave Joseph a bit too much room to get that back and around. Easily swinging it across the field 2 or 3 times there. We'll see what they come out with on O now, though. See if the half has helped them regain a bit of confidence.
I like to see them go back to that horizontal look for one. That looked quite nice coming out of that timeout. I'd like to see it from a pull reception.
Definitely. With the cutters that they have and the throws that they have, I reckon it's definitely a good look. Especially on this downwind as well. Opens up that deep space nice and warm.
Shantanu with a lovely pull again. Ted and Luke both down. And a pick called.
As you were saying earlier, Johnny, it's a bit hard to call a pick so early because everyone's just running down.
Yeah, I mean, Sean's called the pick. He's the full 3 meters from Wilson. What effect was there?
Exactly. Wilson gets the exact same throw out into that open side.
Yeah. So, interesting. Wilson launches it at Foley.
Just that same throw we've been seeing, but just not coming off this time, you know? Just that down the line, same third throw. Flatball Z will look to get it off this sideline again.
Joe with another break. Hark.
But a great throw.
Oh. Tim makes sure of it. Knocks it down again. Ooh, foul call.
He just wanted the 6 points there, Johnny. A D and then a D again.
Another D, yeah, the double points. It's hard to see. I'm not entirely certain what the secondary foul is. Looked like body from both of them with hands in the air, right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me as well. Almost looks like Shantanu. Almost looks like Shantanu was coming up from behind anyway, so...
Yeah.
I reckon Tim had the space there,
It
honestly.
looks like Shantanu's retracted the call anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's the right decision. Good boy, Shantanu.
Violation.
Violation. Yes, Rubenberg played a couple of seasons with South Australia. A lot of us learnt a lot of very obscure rules. Still not great with all the major rules.
I wasn't around in that time. I was probably still in diapers, honestly.
It was back in Karma day. Sando wearing the shirt.
Shantanu chasing those 3 points, and he gets them. Once again there, Flatball just overshooting that deep shot.
And Sean Davis picks up the disc. High stall count. Ted bails him out. Oh, just a pancake drop.
Counting his chickens, I reckon.
Yeah, I think his eyes were looking at where he's going to pass it next. His hands didn't know what they were doing. Sando, strong position here. Dumps to Scary. Still in a strong position.
Ted hunting. Wants it back.
They've worked themselves backwards to this sideline that they like to work on. Continue to jam it in there. Finally get it in.
Flatball's motto at the moment seems to just be try and try again. If it doesn't work the first time, it's got to work eventually.
An interesting thing I've been looking at, though, in Ultimate over the last few years, development-wise, if you look at the top teams around the world, they'll often have a quick look for that first goal when they're sitting on the end zone line. And then a couple of the good teams, Revolver in particular, like to move the disc back almost 10 to 15 metres. They purposely lose ground to open up more scoring opportunities. Something that I think a lot of teams in Australia should start to have a think about. Often counterintuitive, right? You don't want to go backwards. But by going backwards, you give yourself that leading pass, give yourself some more dangerous break looks as well. Also opens up your end zone, isn't crammed in there with 10 players.
Yeah, definitely. I think just a good motto. Go backwards to go forwards, you know.
Yeah.
The more room that you have to work with, the better. Especially when you get around that end zone space. You don't want to ever be jamming a throw into the end zone, I don't think. Foley with another big pull, but just come back a little. Right in front of the commentator's box, Joseph Petrie with a little jog up to the disc and now a little walk. And Ted with another uncharacteristic drop. Maybe a bit of tight pressure there by Tim Stevens, but lucky for them, Blue give it straight back, and they're looking to move it quickly. Travel called on Shantanu after he picked up the disc.
I think he might have been out of the end zone, maybe.
Yeah, just a bit eager over on the line.
Now they all make the slow walk back, trying to think, where was I? Okay, Eichner with the
Ackner with the easy open under. But they elect for the around.
Swing for Ted. Oh, throws it to Sean, who drops it. Wilson quickly picks it up. Not a bad look. Aiden back to Foley. Pick call.
Flat ball with a great opportunity to take an upwind break here. Looks like it's going to be Wilson in the isolation space. But Sean's all over it. The give-go move. Flat ball being pushed back, but not really changing the angle. Not having that continuation swing.
Foley puts it up. And once again, it's Brill. What you talked about before. Got himself underneath the disc. Ate it up. And that is a break back to flat ball, I think.
A great job there after being pushed back almost to half field to find those spaces, take those grabs, and put the score in.
I think there's a... They force... We talk about the fact that flat ball end up on that sideline a lot, but they really force themselves into it. They like that give-go move.
Yeah.
But often it's not a powerful move. It's just a 5-metre pass that's taken them 5 metres closer to their sideline.
It doesn't really change the angle either, honestly.
So I do really like the handler give and go, but I feel it is much more powerful going from the sideline to the centre of the field, or the centre to the centre. Once you throw into a sideline and you're looking to go further to that sideline, really kind of, yeah, you're right. It shuts down your angles, shuts down your options. It allows someone to poach into the space in front of you as well. You might not get a shot down the line either.
I'd also say that most of the throwers on this flat ball line don't really have that big overhead either. So Predator can definitely play a lot harder on those unders and open side throws and not have to worry about that big overhead hammer or big around break.
You're right. It's really only Sando that you've got to worry about.
Shantanu with another great catch. Getting his team into flow quickly.
One of the most underrated things in Ultimate.
Catch the pull, I agree.
Oh, Foley with a sniff on that one.
Cross to Luke Meyer.
Oh, puts it up to Ted and Scary. Wilson's getting in there too.
Wilson picks up the 3 points. On this high sideline that they like.
See, that's the one that should have gone the other way. Took himself to the open side there. Rob to Foley to Scary. Ooh.
Shantanu picks up quickly. Sean Davis trying to slow down the pace here a bit. Wilson with a big layout. Finds Joseph poached. And another floaty throw. Both teams having some troubles with these upwind unders. Just bobbling them up a tiny bit. Jay across to Wilson. Wilson down the line to Rob. Rob looking for his receiver. Jay going. And a great take. Called not in.
Oh.
Aiden Mitchell with a great
Has he caught that on
there.
his... That is a great grab.
Couldn't see it from this angle, but it looked like it was going to hit the ground, and then all of a sudden he comes up with it.
Oh, great grab right on the shins. And we have a timeout.
We'll be right back.
And we are back. 9-all. The breaks have been eaten away. And we have a game that is now on serve. No, red started with D. But effectively on serve.
Maybe red feeling a bit of the savageness. Feeling it in their legs. Not having the energy to keep up with this large rostered blue team.
Yeah, that makes sense from what we're seeing. We're seeing definitely the speed of which their swings and continuations were happening earlier in the game has fallen away.
A great pull here by Foley. But Predator still with the opportunity. Oh.
Sean, big put up to Nunu and John.
And Nunu
Nunu
comes down
catches
with
it.
Fantastic throw by Sean Davis.
Yeah, great catch by Nunu under a lot of pressure as well. Kept his eyes on it, didn't worry about what his opponent was doing. Knew he had the right sit.
Coming over the back of John Bill's head a bit there. Just a bit hard to read.
I mean, John did everything he could to make it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Difficult.
Right in position, you know. If he had a bit more time, I reckon he would have come down with that one. But red, confidently coming out of that one.
Okay. Shantanu with a pull for Predator.
Blue with another opportunity to just take a nice easy downwind. I reckon it's been definitely a bit of more of a game of just the downwind staying on serve in the second half in comparison to that first half of, I think, 4 or 5 upwind points. Shantanu with the pull here. I reckon that's the best one he's thrown all night. And unlike Flatball, handlers immediately marked.
Ryan Davey. It's Tim.
Tim looking for his dump
It's Jay.
on that sideline.
Jay dumps it to Wilson. I really think the disc is going to stay with Wilson. Sando, center of the field. Back to Wilson. To Davey. Pressure is building.
And that's where Predator
Sean.
wanted it.
Sean snags it, thrown behind Wilson. Sean Davis. It's Nunu, but a pick called.
Hey boys, you've got to be under. Go home. Too good tonight. You got to get under.
Scary commenting on how well Shantanu's playing tonight. Luke with a great undercut there, but looked off. A great give-go move. Joseph in power position and sees Lockie.
Like he's not able to reel it in. Interesting look. Looked like he could have just kept running onto that.
Yeah, I reckon he was loading up to lay out there and then just realized that he could just grab it. But Blue with an opportunity here to take their on par or on serve score.
Sando brings it in. Oh, is that a throwaway or a hand block? We're unsure. And a goal to Lockie. And there's the break. That's the break.
Red capitalizing there.
Looks like it was
just a bit of a tip there by Ted. Great job. Unsure, but
It's all ahead of him now. Let's see if Lunu's learned from his pull before. Is he going to give it to Joe?
looks like Joseph's going to take it. I'm calling a break.
Joe will definitely go the big outside in, right?
Yep. No. It's going to be the inside out.
It's a wrong throw for the wind.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like the outside in. He doesn't have the muscles.
Okay, so Predator, put the pressure on him. See if Flatball can respond.
Just going up. Oh, it was a bit of that
outside in.
Right
Back
in
of the end zone.
Great throw.
Oh, set up. Foley gets it. Sends it to Aiden. Ooh, just thrown again, just behind Scary. It's very hard to...
Especially in this wind as well. As soon as you're not receiving it in the area you think you're going to get it, just throws you off a bit, I reckon.
All right, vertical stack. Joseph Petrie picks up the disc, immediately breaks to Ted. I don't know if Ted got a hand on that or not.
Just a little tip by Ted there, but
Sando to Foley to Scary to Rob. Put themselves on strong side. This is good. Look for Rob to dump this and then get back down in the field. And that's a D. Sean saw that coming miles away.
Great dump defense there as well. Never let Sando have more than half a step on him in any direction. Joseph looking for the inside here again, I reckon.
Joe sticks it up in the air. Oh,
Enchantony with a great grab.
Great grab, unfortunately by Aiden, just a little bit too short. Right spot, right jump. Just sailed over his hands.
Can't teach height.
That's right.
Predator really capitalizing here on these Flatball Z small mistakes and just putting it in.
Score is 12-9. Predator Flatball. What are we going to see from the Z boys? Are they going to change what they're doing? Are they going to attempt to put different O look on?
I reckon they're just going to keep plugging, honestly. Sometimes, especially at this level, once a team gets in a bit of a rut, they'll seem to just keep plugging on until they can...
Yeah, work their way out of it.
Happens, you know?
Predator have basically been in a match the whole time. Threw a zone early on. Didn't work.
But Blue, with the throwing prowess they have, wasn't too difficult. Red, definitely going to be down there on the first throw. No doubt in my mind.
Nunu, lovely pull. Deep.
Not floating up this time, but Ted gone fast.
It's Foley. It's Davey. Sando. To Foley. Sean calling out from miles away.
And immediately retracting.
Veteran move. Stops all play.
Stops all movement.
Everyone moves before the disc is even tapped in. Big send over the top. Scary. The bailout stall 9. Flat side throw by Foley.
Sean Davis almost becoming the best defender on the field there with that call.
And 12-10. Might not have enough time to get to 15.
Blue really need to find this next break, I reckon. If they don't get this one, I reckon the game is pretty much sealed.
Yeah, that's an important point. What have they got on?
Looks like
Wilson's
pretty
not
strong
on.
line.
Sando's not on.
If I was playing against this team, honestly, I reckon I'd throw in a bit of a zone. Missing Baddix. Missing Ricky.
Yeah.
Get their handlers back. Maybe throw a bit of a assassination on Joseph or Sean. Force those big overheads and hope for the best, really, I reckon.
Yeah. An assassination on Joe would actually be quite good. Probably not something he's used to having thrown on him. Might not know exactly how to deal with it in the correct space. Often the tendency when you're assassinated is to try and get the disc more.
Looks like Flatball Z calling a match though off the line. Foley with a great pull.
Yeah, very lovely pull. Sitting,
S-bend,
but not
quite.
down like the Predator team are, and that's been probably the difference.
Just a little bit more defensive intensity.
Lucky hits it to Nunu. I think that should be Nunu's.
That's all right. Happy to concede, looks like.
Yeah, a lot of picks that I'm seeing are happening when players are more than 3 meters away. Maybe they're happening 3 seconds before, or whatever the rule is.
Yeah, honestly, not a big fan of the introduction of that rule. I think if it happens, you should call it immediately. Don't let the play. Don't see what happens with the play. Just call it. Call it as it happens, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It just confuses the issue, I think. Nunu throws it away. I'm not sure what happened there. Did Sean pull out of that cut?
I think just a bit of a miscommunication, honestly. I reckon Sean was maybe on a path to go open side. And
But here is their chance. Talked about they needed the break. Oh, and Foley throws it away. Nunu gets it back for himself. Joe. Sean. Back to Joe.
get off this sideline here, Ed. Great fat side throw there from Sean Davis.
Time cap!
Ooh, very nice. So time cap just before that goal. So we have 13-10, game to 14.
13. Yep, game to 14.
Looks like we have a timeout call. We will be back shortly. 13-10, game to 14.
And we're back. Predator in a commanding position here to take the game.
Yes. Four game points they've got here.
Yep.
4 shots to put it away. First one on D. If they can't get this, they'll be on O for the rest of the game. Nunu's been very impressive with his pulling into the wind. Not a float.
Has been the last couple of games, honestly. Just has those long levers, you know, able to really wrench that disc up.
Did say it was something he was working on a lot, wanted to put a lot of effort into it. Saw a spot available in the outrake team for a designated puller.
Yep, he's on my line, and I'll be happy to have those pulls at Natty's. Another great one.
Ted again with just puts a lot of pressure on by having that guy there, right there. Foley to Rob. To Davey. Oh, throws it up. Back to Foley.
Great read.
To John, but they're just continuing to put themselves on that sideline. Predator happy to let them go there.
Let's get off here.
Foley. To Rob. Rob with the hammer look to Tim. Tim to John. John to Foley. Could have been a bit of a walk by John, but not to Foley, to Sando for the goal, sorry. Nice look by Rob. A downwind short hammer. Yeah, maybe a walk.
Take the option you're given, you know. But you'll notice the first time I think I can recall this game that Blue have moved it off that sideline and they've easily moved it down the break for the score there.
That's right. We've been saying it all game. We need to get to this strong high side. Something that Red have done very well at times during this game. And the wind has picked right up.
Just in time for Foley's throw.
Not really what Flatball want, or at least they want to get the block and then for it to die down. Look for something quite simple here from Predator.
Yep, I reckon they'll just be running what they've been doing the whole game. Just work it around the back of the field, look for those attacking lanes and keep resetting. Most likely see a man look coming out from Flatball Z as well. Nice pull by Foley up into this wind.
Predator happy to just let it sail down. Oh, they've gone with a side stack and an isolation in the lane to Lockie. It's looked off. Swing to Nunu. And then to Lockie on the side. Lockie with a big punt. Oh, to Luke for the goal.
Score.
That's the score. Sando just over his fingertips.
And that's the game.
And that is the game. Thank you very much to my broadcast partner, Connor Fletcher.
Nice to be here. A bit cold, but
Jonathan Warren White and Connor Fletcher signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the game.
see ya.
ULTI.TV.